Alright people, so I was requested to do a video, top 10 reasons why Hillary Clinton sucks, and also my thoughts on the email scandal. So let me just go over the email scandal real quick here. You know, it's not a topic I'm too big on, because I think there's bigger things out there than, you know, the email scandal, you know, that Hillary Clinton has done, you know, like Benghazi, for example. But I think the email scandal is still, you know, a scandal. And I think Hillary Clinton is still a criminal for the email scandal. I haven't done too much research on it, because again, I think there's maybe not bigger issues with Hillary, but there's bigger issues in the world right now than Hillary Clinton's emails. But I think it's still an issue that should be looked into, because it certainly does look like she broke the law. So yeah, but let me get into, you know, top 10 reasons why she sucks here. Number one, big thing, she's a Democrat. Most Democrats are garbage. Yes, there's a few good ones out there, I'd say, that are better than, you know, your average, average Democrat out there. I think, what's her name? Cynthia McKinney, I think's her name. She's pretty good. But yeah, most Democrats are just awful and are running this country into the ground. And this is going to be like a quick list. It's not going to be something I'm going to spend an hour on. I kind of just want to, you know, touch on a point, talk about it for 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute. Number two, she's for stricter gun control, which is, in my opinion, against the Constitution. I mean, if you read the Second Amendment, it says the right of the people, meaning the American people, to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But they want to regulate it. You know, they want to regulate the Second Amendment. Well, you know, again, it's unconstitutional, and it's been shown not to work. And again, the whole gun, you know, we need guns to protect against criminals like Hillary Clinton and a tyrannical government. So, you know, no, I don't want any more gun control. All right. I mean, we already have too much gun control. We don't need any more. It's her constitutional right. Number three, she's taken money from countries. She's accepted money from countries that treat women like shit. I mean, in fucking like Saudi Arabia, I mean, just look at the shit they do there. You know, they don't even let women drive. Well, that might be a good idea. No, just kidding. But, anyway, yeah, she's taking money from countries that, you know, yeah, treat women like shit. Treat gay people like shit. Treat, you know, certain kinds of people like shit. Yet she's like, oh, I'm for gay rights. I'm for women's rights and shit like that. Number four, you know, climate change. You know, all these liberals want to take climate change and turn it into this huge fucking issue. Now they're actually saying climate change is responsible for ISIS. Are you serious? What retardation is that? So they want to, you know, change the world, have global carbon taxes, have all this shit changed because of fucking climate change. A thing that's, at best, you know, up in the air. It's questionable whether it exists or not at best. I mean, there's no question there's things we do to the environment that are horrible. But again, I don't think it's this huge issue. You know, I do think there should be certain regulations, but, you know, we shouldn't, like, you shouldn't just be able to dump fucking shit into the fucking ocean, like toxic shit into the ocean, or release toxic shit into the air. You know, there should be some regulations to a certain point, but not to the point where there's like global carbon taxes. That's ridiculous. There's bigger issues in the world than climate change. Number five, she has a bunch of fucking scandals, like the email scandal, like Benghazi. You know, she's been caught when she's in like a southern audience. She talks in a southern accent. I mean, you could actually look up videos where she's in like Tennessee. She's like, how, you know, I'm not even going to impersonate it because I don't know if I could do it right, but look it up. I mean, it's like only like a minute long. She's talking in like a southern accent. It's ridiculous. Number six, she's, you know, she's for abortion being legal. I've made videos on abortion. I've made videos on like every issue pretty much. But yeah, I think abortion is murder, in my opinion. I think it's wrong. And I don't think as a government we should say, okay, it's legal, because I don't think it's right. You know, I think the baby inside that mother's body is alive. All right. So, and again, I could expound on that viewpoint more, but as I said, it's shortened to the point. Number 7, with gay marriage, she's like, oh, she at first she's like, well, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman. And she wasn't for all the pushing of the gay rights. Now, as public opinion sways, she's like, well, the last few years, she's like, well, I've reevaluated my viewpoint, and I think that, we should have all these gay rights. And I think government should get involved in marriage and legalize gay marriage, which is, again, is, in my opinion, a stupid thing for the government to do, to get involved in marriage. Why should the government be involved in marriage? So I think it's very dumb for the Supreme Court to legalize gay marriage. The federal government does not have any constitutional power over gay marriage. The state government or federal government should not even be involved in marriage in the first place. It should be a non-issue politically. All right, the issue of marriage should be in the hands of the private citizens. There's no point in getting government involved, because government got involved is why we have all this shit now, with all this discrimination and shit like that. That's why that was created by the government being involved. Get the government out of it. That's the answer to solve all these problems with it. And now we have like the problem with the person in Kentucky, the clerk in Kentucky, and shit like that. And it's just a mess. Get the government out. When the government gets out and we leave it up to the private sector, it usually gets much fucking better. Number 8, she's a fucking neocon. Just look at all the shit she does. Around the world, she's very hawkish when it comes to foreign policy. Even more hawkish, than some Republicans. You look at Rand Paul. He is more fucking, he's better with foreign policy. He is less hawkish than Hillary is. Again, just look at what happened with fucking Assad. Fucking Rand Paul's like, well, let's not fund Assad, or let's not fund ISIS. Let's not, fund these so-called moderate rebels. And Clinton's all for it. She's all for the overthrow of Gaddafi and shit like that, which has led to fucking complete, now Libya is like a terrorist wonderland there because Gaddafi was overthrown. 9, again, she changed her mind on the TPP. At first she's like, oh, it's great, the TPP is great, and then again, as people got against it, started talking out against it, she's like, well, I've reevaluated it again, and I've changed my mind. Bullshit. She's such a liar, Hillary Clinton is. So stupid. People are so... Do you really think Hillary's telling the truth here? She just happens to change her mind right when people start getting against it. Bullshit. And the last one, healthcare, A lot of Democrats are for, let's have a single payer, let's have universal healthcare. Not a good idea. Not a good idea to get government involved. Again, as I said, government fucks everything up. Not a good idea to get government involved in healthcare, because healthcare costs $3 trillion, $2 billion to run if you would pay for everybody's healthcare in America per year. That's a lot of fucking money. Where are we going to get that money from? Where are we going to get $3 trillion from if we're going to pay for everybody's healthcare by a government? It's better when the private companies run it. As we've seen, Obamacare is a disaster. Premiums have gone up. It's not good. All right. I think we need, again, private companies usually do a better job than government. Get government out. And people are always like, well, what's going to happen to the poor people? What's going to happen to the poor people? Well, there's something called charities that actually help with that. There's Catholic Christian hospitals out there. There's one like fucking 3 miles down the road from me, actually, that actually will take people in for free and treat them. There's a lot of good people out there who actually help poor people. So, and also, if we don't bog everybody down with all these taxes paying for everything, people are going to have money to pay for health insurance themselves, so they won't have to worry about it. So there you go. And a lot of these problems, health problems, are caused by people, eating all this food and getting fat. And it's themselves doing it to themselves pretty much. So we gotta, a big way to solve health problems as a country is to realize what's causing all these problems. The additives in the foods and all that shit. the additives in the water like fluoride, what's causing all these problems. You have to identify that too. That's a big issue too. But I'm not going to go on about it forever. But there you go, people. There's your top 10 reasons why Hillary Clinton fucking sucks. So there you go.